Welcome to the second episode of Hacienda Live. In this episode, we're going to talk to one of the golf members here on HDA. Something that we were going to do as part of the initial pilot episode until we ran out of time. So here you go. Right, so following our discussions this morning with Simon and Torrell, who were talking about things in general around HDA, I've now got Sue Saunders with us. And Sue, who is a resident, been here for a good few years, but she's also, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Sue, just been appointed this sort of social
news and media
manager for the golf club,
the golf course, the golf society that we have that runs alongside the golf course of U Golf.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we spoke a bit this morning about the golf course and everything else. So I thought, why not get someone who's a bit closer to the golf course and can tell us all about it, and just fill us all in, I guess, around that. But before we do that, tell us a bit about yourself, Sue.
I'm retired, as most people are on HDA or holiday makers that come in, but we've been here for 6 years full time, and life passes by every day superbly. It's lovely and warm. It's a nice place to be, and time flies by.
And in terms of, why did you choose HDA?
Very good question. My husband and I are both quite sporty.
Yeah.
So we wanted to continue sport, especially as we're getting older. You want to keep fit, you want to keep going, and social is one of the other main elements as well, because the social side of living on a community of this size as well, it's quite big, is you meet so many people every day.
Yeah.
Some are the same, some are totally different you've not met before, depending on what you're doing and what sport or what social activity you're doing.
Okay. I mean, and by the way, listeners, Sue and Brian have been great for me, because when I came on here, as you know, a few years back, didn't really know anybody, I think we meet in one of the restaurants?
We did. We met in one of the local restaurants.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say the restaurant?
Yeah, go ahead.
In Pan's Kitchen, and we overheard our local accents from the west of England, and we hit it off from there.
Yeah, we just got chatting, didn't we?
Yeah,
and you've helped me out a lot in terms of the TV and where to take the car and this, that, and the other. So Sue and Brian are a great resource. So if anybody does come around here, they're always good to hunt down and find out.
It was hard when you move somewhere new to find out, what do we do with this? What do we do with that? And we've moved around a lot. I know the pitfalls, but also you know what you've got to look for. But it's difficult for the people who've been the first time moving overseas.
Yeah, and the other thing is and one good reason for getting Sue on here is, you and Brian have been on here for 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years in total. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 years. So you know the ins and outs. You know the pros and the cons.
Yeah.
And what I'm hoping we're going to get over and provide to everybody is not just, do you know what? Yeah, it's sunshine, and it's glorious, which it is most of the time. But as we were saying this morning, last week was just torrential rain.
That time of the year when all over Spain gets hit with that. It's a change in weather temperature going from winter to summer. So you get normal rainy period, which can last a week or a day or a couple of weeks. And then you'll find the winds. We've got winds at the moment, which then dries everywhere up lovely. And then hopefully within a week, we'll start seeing the temperature rises, which then continue through the summer.
But the one big positive about all the rain is the golf course needs it, right? Because, again, so I've been here 3 years now, and I've played on the golf course a couple of times, and it was set up to be a championship golf course, right? And it's one of the longest, I believe, in Spain.
It's one of the longest ones, and it is very, very well constructed, very much a male course as well. So there's lots of long fairways, lots of bunkers in front of the greens, and the distances for the course are extremely long compared to, I think there's only one or two others that are as long in Spain.
Yeah.
And this rain will be absolutely superb, because we've just gone through a whole refurbishment. U Golf, who currently run and manage the course,
yeah,
with Fortress, who own it, have put in a huge investment, and it's been closed for a number of months now. And we've been playing off either the front nine or the back nine twice round to get the 18 holes.
Yeah.
For people who don't understand golf a little bit, whilst they refurbish one half at a time.
Yeah.
We moved over. So it's been open and we've been able to work around it, but we are so looking forward to opening. And we're hoping now, just a week or two away, we're closed this week for hollow tining. Last week we didn't play because of the weather.
Right.
Torrential rain. So we're all at the point of going, okay, we're pulling our hair out now. I'd love to get some golf.
Yeah.
We've already seen the new sprouts of the green grass started from the rains that we've just had. Now, if we get the warm weather coming as well, which we always will within the next week or so, that'll be fantastic. And with all the new irrigation systems that have gone in, brilliant.
Well, and if we can be, I'm going to speak maybe out of turn, I guess, but in the 3 years I've been here, I've only played a couple of times because I'm a keen golfer myself. But I think it's suffered a little bit in the past. And I think, for those that have been in the past, maybe also for people that are local or have come over with their golf societies and played it, some of them might have been a little bit disappointed because maybe there wasn't the investment in the course. But the thing now is, YouGolf, is it YouGolf?
YouGolf will run it. We manage it.
And there's a lot of money going into it. Like you say, they've closed some of it down. So by kind of September, we're March 2025. By September,
we're hoping to have it looking a lush course again. That will be September is where we believe we've got enough sun through the season because we have two types of grass on the course.
Okay.
So one is a winter grass and one is a summer grass. So one will only trigger new growth at 25 degrees above. And then there's the winter grass. So we have to get through this rainy period where it's soaking up all the new moisture. And that takes a couple of days before it stops bouncing off the top layer of the soil.
Right.
Because it's so dry all year in Spain, the rain will run off before it actually starts seeping in. So you do need quite a good bit of rain. Then we're doing all the hollow tining at the moment on the greens. All the way through this period, I must say, the greens have been superb. Absolutely. It's the one thing they've really kept on top. Still play the golf. Fairways have been fairly dry and harsh. But it's been happening. YouGolf managed 3 courses, and we just happen to be the last of the 3 courses that have been renovated. But the amount that they've been able to put into it and the amount of time and money has been substantial.
Right.
And by September, I would say at the earliest, we're going to get nice fairways.
Yeah.
But from then on, it's just going to get so much better.
And,
it really is.
And so, in one respect, it's going to make it, again, that championship course, and it'll be great to play. The downside is probably get a lot busier.
Oh, it will. No doubt. Because all the players from here, when they've played some of their games here, but they've been going to the other 2 YouGolf course.
Right.
To play there because there's grass there, long thick grass, you get the lush, you get the rough greens, all that type, and having really good games, and then come back and play here as well. So we know that the same will happen once this becomes that championship level course. Not only are we going to get the other YouGolf course players wanting to play here, we're going to get all the other societies in the region travelling here to play for the day. We're going to get the big competitions that used to come very regularly to YouGolf here will come back. They already are looking at them and assessing what's happening with a view to coming back here. So fingers crossed.
Well, I mean, I've been impressed with the golf club itself, the actual clubhouse. I think the clubhouse is gorgeous. There are some issues, I think, around getting the staff to serve and everything else, but that'll come again.
Certainly, that comes under because of the decline of the last 10 years, COVID hit very hard. And then the course need to be reestablished, and new ownership of the hotel. The hotel used to be the Hilton, then it was shut for a while. It's now run by Owner Hotels. They also run the clubhouse.
Right.
So for them, getting investment and getting footfall through the hotel and building that promotion through last summer has been a big effort to them. So they focused on the hotel. So the clubhouse could be so much better. I'm hoping it's going to move that way.
Well, I think it's stunning, and I'm all for sort of hoping that they start putting the staff in there so that people can get a good pint at the end of the round. Now you've touched on a couple of other clubs you said that are part of the YouGolf.
Yes.
So What can you explain that? Can you explain who the other two clubs are and how that works with the membership?
Marmanor and Serenus are the two other clubs that that YouGolf manage in the area, that are all within half an hour of playing here. So when you are a full member at HDA with YouGolf, you are able to use the other courses at a discounted rate. Okay. So at the moment, because the course here has been either closed or underutilized because of the play and the refurbishment, we've been able to go to the other golf courses for a very good reasonable €10.
Oh, brilliant.
Full membership.
Yeah.
Having been paid already, you could use it and use the buggies as well. So you would pay a nominal fee, again nominal, because we haven't been able to play here. Now that will all draw down as HDA comes back online again. Right. But YouGolf have been very good at offering that to us because we've been full members through the year.
And how does the membership work then at HDA then?
There's various memberships you can have. So if you're looking at coming here to be a golfer and you go, I'm here as a holidaymaker, I don't really want to pay an annual fee. Yeah. So there is a couple of scenarios, one of which I know fairly well, is you can pay a yearly minimum membership, which at the moment is about €900 per couple. Yeah. Then every time you play, you only pay €9. Okay. Then you might want to hire a buggy on top, or you might decide to walk. It's entirely up to you. Yeah. I wouldn't walk. Sorry, listeners, but there's no chance of me walking out. I mean, we said before it's the longest course that's out there, and in this hot weather, I couldn't do it. I'd be faltering. It's very hard July and August. Yeah. To walk, it is. You're better with buggies, but there are enough buggies to rent. Right. And a lot of the players who live here own their own buggies, which are stored in the club under the clubhouse. Okay. So you can rent a space to store your buggy, which is then charged up by YouGolf as part of the fee membership. Okay. And that currently runs at $600 a year. So for all that, I get it charged up, ready plugged in every time I come in and go out, ready to go. I have to wash it and maintain it myself. Yeah. But it's there stored out of the wind and rain or the sun, and it's off ready to play every time I play. And because I'm a full member with my husband, we pay a fee just short of £3,000, which is the fee for both of us to play and for our buggy for a year. And I also have a locker where I keep my clubs because I don't want my clubs at home. So there's various options that you can dip in and dip out of. And for that membership, I can play every day of the week. And that then is specifically with the YouGolf membership. It is. And then you have your society, which is separate to that. We have a golf. There's a golf committee that's been formed by all the original founders that were here. Right. So years ago, people bought off plan about 20 years ago. Right. From about 14, 15 years ago, maybe a little bit more now, founding members joined HDA, and with them a lot of golfers came from the Manga or a few other places, and they named themselves the founders, which then came through into the golf as well. So we have a founders competition, which is a big gala dinner once a year in late November, early December, which is fantastic. Everybody on HDA is welcome to go. I was going to say, it's not limited to the founders then. No, it's not. It's about founding HDA. Right, got you. And founding the golf course as well. Yeah. So it's a mixture of the two. Okay. And then, in terms of, can anyone join your society? Is it women's only? Is it? No. In fact, the women's section has been growing quite a bit since I first started. There was a number of ladies, but you probably only get about 10 regular ladies playing. And because of the visa situation, we were in Europe then. Yeah. A lot of people could fly in and out all the time. So we had lots of people joining that you'd see fairly regularly through the year. Visas and out of your Brexit has changed that slightly, but only the way that people come for concentrated times now. Okay. So they'll come for 3 months a year. You'll see them a lot, they'll play a lot, and then they'll disappear for a little while. Right. Or you get the people who live here who continue playing all the year through. And do you have a name? We are HDA Golf Committee. Because societies or club is difficult to use because we don't run or own the clubhouse. Okay. So we are a group that run the golf on a regular basis at the YouGolf Club. Yeah. And we do Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. Tuesdays and Saturdays are almost always federated, 18 holes. We use an electronic golf directo system where you can book in with whoever you want to play. And a Thursday is a team phone game. So a lot of people who join new will often start doing, if they're not good golfers, so often we'll find a a husband who's played for years on and off.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get his wife to go, would you be interested to play golf so you don't become the golf widow at home? So they'll start. And there's many ways you can start by generally introducing them to the Thursday group, or we have a ladies, what we call the Carver group. The Carver group is 9 holes on a Monday afternoon, where if you're learning to play, we introduce you to the course, the rules, and the other ladies. And then hopefully they more often not come on to the main group, golf group, and start playing the Thursdays and then Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays, and depending which day they prefer. Some play all 3 every week.
Okay.
Some play 2 times a week. So.
And people can just, in terms of if they wanted to join the society, just rock up, just turn up and...
Yeah, we have a Facebook, HDA Golf Members.
Okay.
We also have a website, which we're just updating at the moment. So the easiest way to get hold of everybody, I would say, would be on Facebook for the moment.
Okay.
We have a Wix website, which we're adapting and updating. But we have email addresses. The easiest one, if anyone wants to get in touch, is hdahandicap@gmail.com.
Okay.
Or myself, HDA News and Media. I am News and Media. My email is not that. My email is hdagolfnews@gmail.com. All of which will send you the information you need. You need to, if you're already a player, we have to prove your handicap.
Right.
Because the Spanish Federation runs very much like the English or the American federated groups. Mm-hmm. You have to prove, and with that, you join it for a yearly license. With that license, it covers you for insurance to play as well.
Okay.
So if you accidentally hit anybody on the course, you're covered under that insurance.
Right.
So you pay a yearly membership, which, if I remember rightly, was about 80 odd euros for a year per person to pay. And with that, you can join the Federated Spanish Society. So we can then use our Golf Directo system that we play on a weekly basis, add you to that, validate your handicap in there as well, and then you can join in with everybody else straight away.
Now, you touched on there about being federated, and it's about 80 euros a year.
Yeah.
What if I am just a casual golfer who pop over, twice a year, and I just want a round of golf? Do I have to therefore pay an additional 80 euros?
No, but yes. It depends now on your status of living here and owning a house. Under Spanish rule and Golf Federated Spanish Federation rule, they like you to be a full member if you own a house, because you then give it an NIE number.
Yes.
Linked to your NIE number. If you have an NIE, you should become Spanish Federated. Yeah. However, there is a way where you can, or they did, they may change this in the future, but you can pay 3 times each time you play if you're only here for a very short time.
Yeah.
And that will give you temporary for that game.
Yeah, because I think it wasn't 3 euros a round or something.
It was 3 years each time.
Okay, because I was going to say it might put people off otherwise, but
there is a way around the whole year membership thing, especially if you're only here on holiday, or you've just come to have a look at HTA, and you're interested in buying here or renting here or holidaying here. You can still come and play a game, and you can hire clubs. There's 1 or 2 different online, Mercia Golf and a few others, who will come and rent golf clubs to do the whole set. You don't need to carry them backwards and forwards each time.
Okay. And in terms of the membership at the moment, what's that like?
Membership at the moment, we have just short of 200 players.
Okay.
We have on a regular Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we have about 60 players. That's been less than normal because of the 9 holes played twice. When we are back up to 18 holes fairly shortly, we can take up to about 70, 72 players per game per round. We hope that's where we want to be back to.
And you've also got, and I know this is mainly part of the golf club as opposed to the society, but there's also a golf academy, driving range, and is there a 9-hole course? No,
it's 6 holes.
A 6-hole course.
So it's a very good academy actually, and there's a golf pro who runs and does lessons down there for children and adults, and adults with learning disabilities as well. So you can go and see him for lessons, which currently at the moment is about 50 euros an hour. Yeah. You can buy groups of lessons, which make it cheaper, or groups of people can come over and have holidays and do lessons. Or you can pay to go on the academy. You go to the pro shop like you would to play golf. Yeah. Pay to go around the 6 holes, and it's shorter for the people who can't deal with the big course first of all and want to start on the short course. Like I started on the academy, learned to play here effectively. I'd had about 6 months of lessons before I arrived, but not really played much. And I hadn't played on grass, I played on desert.
Okay.
Where you took a piece of mat with you. So here I had to learn to play on grass. And we had about 8 of us all joined at the same time, paid for a group team once a week. We'd all meet, we'd all do the lessons. And those are the people I've now come through the golf club with.
Yeah.
And we played the academy until we got fed up and went, I need to go on the big course now.
Yeah.
But that's when you know you're ready to make that transition from the academy onto the larger course. Or people who have already played go straight onto the main course.
And also your society, I think, a little bird tells me that it's not just golf that you do, because Toril says that she's going out tonight. And is it the Carver Girls or something? Is it?
Tonight we're doing a charity pool ladies' night,
right?
In Harvey's bar, one of the bars that are on site. We try to support the different hostilleries that are around and restaurants that are around with the golf club, as well as all the other events that go on. This one is a charity event to raise funds for the HDA Fiesta.
Oh, okay.
So every year, 3 days in the year, we're hoping to make it a 4-day this year. 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th of June, I think, is the date for this year. It happens every year. We work with Hacienda Del Alamo and a charity, Fiesta charity, and we're raising funds now to make it a really good event.
Okay.
Our bands come in, we have a stage up and a marquee up to cover us from the sun. There's barbecue areas, there's market stalls, all sorts of different.
Whereabouts is that then?
That's up on the Pueblo. It has been. It moves. It can move from year to year. It has moved. But last year we were on the Pueblo, and I think, if I'm right, it's trying to be there again this year. The stage is set. Multiple bands coming through the days. There's a big itinerary goes out, so everybody on the HDA sees it on the Facebook site. Yeah. There's actually an HDA Fiesta Facebook site, so you can keep track of what's actually coming on and what's happening. They do evening events as well during that period. So, and it's also kiddie related as well as adults. So there's a mixture of different activities happening through that whole period. So that's being planned a year in advance. From as soon as the last one finishes, the committee continue through all the way through to that happening again. And all the other societies that are here, there's so many sports groups that are here. We all try and do something and help out. And as I say, at the moment, because the clubhouse is going through this transition period with the course as well as the owners, the golf club is moving around the different venues on site, Harvey's, Fairways, Lockheed's, which used to be Leo's. We're hoping to look at all the others as well, which we know we are. So the golfers after golf will have our presentations at those events.
Brilliant.
So we are supporting the local community is the aim. And hopefully the reward will be that they stay here longer, they get bigger and better, they can offer more to the residents in service and food quality and variety of food. We've got a new restaurant opening up. Hopefully that becomes a main staple of HDA as well. So it's all moving in the right direction. It's
and like I say, in the short 3 years that I've been here, it's gone from kind of like a ghost town because of COVID, and it's now really expanding. I've noticed it's getting a lot busier, a lot more restaurants opening, so that's good fun.
And a lot more families moving in.
So and also I know you were here to talk about the golf, but we just touch on as well, you've already said that there are lots of other sports here, so there are people in tennis.
Paddle's big here. Paddle's been big here for 5-6 years at least.
Okay.
Which is quicker than it's only just really introducing into the UK now. They're converting a lot of the old squash courts and tennis courts into paddle, and overseas as well, Holland, and we have multinational people on HDA, I should say. So there's a variety of cultures that you meet playing all these different games, and there's different social outlets. There's craft clubs, there's besides the sports as well. If you're not very sporty, you don't.
Hang on. They're what clubs?
Craft club.
I thought you said crack club then. I was going to say, I'm not let's not go down that route, but
I think soon to be there's going to be musician clubs as well.
Okay.
Musicians moving in that have already played in bands. That's going to be good for the next 6 to 12 months. And who knows, you might see them at the Fiesta.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's lots going on, and hopefully in future episodes we'll get people on from the tennis and the other clubs.
It would be great for them to take part in this because they're growing. They've got lots of people visiting while they're on holiday.
Yeah.
And play the odd game here. Again, people that are here permanently. Some of the people who are here permanently are now playing in federated paddle games in the Spanish league.
Wow.
They're that good. Yeah. So they have from beginner's level, so don't be frightened off. So if you just want to play and you've not played it before, maybe tennis or badminton or some sort of racket sport, and you'd like to try it, you can. They're on Facebook as well. Just put them the HDA. Everything pops up bit by bit, and it will show you what days within the information in the groups. What days they play, what times they play, and they vary slightly timing wise, winter to summer because of the heat, but the days stay the same generally.
Touching on that, and because there's so many different groups, is there one place that people can go to find all this information, or are they all on separate kind of groups, separate Facebooks and everything else?
At the moment, they're all on separate Facebooks because, like you said, HDA has been growing. We're now at the point where things are starting to become amalgamated together, or they're helping each other out, promote each other. Yeah. So HDA itself has got about 3 owners' sites. One's Happy in HDA, one's Owners in HDA, a variety of others. So I think they're all going to start moving in. They all move in the same direction with what they advertise. You'll see it multiple times, but I think there's going to be a symmetry coming as more people arrive, more people are organising things stronger and better for the good.
Okay. Well, I think in terms of information about the club here on HDA, you filled us in with loads of great information there. I think for future episodes, it'd be nice if you could come back on and maybe talk about some of the other clubs that you've played.
Love to.
So that we can give people a good, because I think Simon said this morning that there's like 30 something clubs around this area.
Oh, yes.
So it'd be great to know that, I quite like to get reviews, of the other 2 that linked to HDA, for example. So maybe you can come back and talk about those.
Be more than happy to. I've played paddle myself, so I know the members in the other groups, and they would love to probably join in on this. Also, one of the other big sports I forgot to mention, if people aren't racket sports or golf or whatever, cycling is a big thing in Spain.
Oh, right, okay.
Off-road cycling and on HDA cycling if people aren't long distance. HDA is great to cycle around, whether it's on just a trials bike or a road bike. You've got to avoid the humps and bumps for the road speed limits, but you can on HDA.
Well, HDA, I mean, again, as part of my exploring when I first came here, the infrastructure, there's a road network here which is so quiet because they put all the roads in.
Yes.
But then didn't build.
No, the big recession hit. 20 odd years ago for the whole of Spain. And when that hit, it halted the progress of HDA along with everywhere else. But HDA now for the last 5 to 10 years have been ever increasing and growing. And especially this last 2 years, we've now got new builds here and arriving, already been built, finished, and another lot started. So investment in Spain is growing, and HDA is a place to be.
Well, at the moment, it seems to be on the up, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So
going in the right direction, as are a lot of places. But HDA, I think, offers a lot more because we are one of the few areas that have as many residential people. A lot of people fly in and fly out. Of many of the other resorts. We have a lot of residential as well, which means there's a strong community here.
And the other thing, I mean, again, you touched on there about the airport. One of the for me, massive bonuses is Corvera Airport is 15 minutes away.
That's fantastic.
And you literally, I mean, I dropped my partner off at Alicante Airport, and it was a 3-hour round trip, right? Yes. Which, again, is not too bad. And there are more flights that go into Alicante. But for me, Corvera being 15 minutes away is just fantastic.
It is. It's superb. And they're increasing their flight numbers, the airlines that are flying in. At the moment, if you are flying from, say, UK, because I know the UK flights, April to October, there's multiple flights, multiple days. Winter, past October through to March, April again, it reduces or stops altogether, and then everyone has to go to Alicante. With everywhere growing, we're already being told that will become year round, but it's far enough away that yes, you see the aircraft. Yeah. Yes, you can get here fairly quickly.
Yeah.
But yes, you can hear some aircraft. So you have to weigh one off against the other. But as far as HDA is concerned, it's a big positive in the move forward and the growth.
Yeah, the planes flying over. I mean, gosh, you can have, 2, 3 a day, maybe?
Exactly. And they're done timing-wise. They do it in the morning and the evening and leave the main bulk of the day free. So it doesn't disturb everybody.
Yeah.
So they are very conscious of when they reopened the airport or opened it fully, because that again was built when the recession was on and staged 10 years closed, I think. They are very aware that it's within an area of Murcia and everywhere else, the coastline, that has to be accessible, but not an annoyance.
Yeah.
So.
And I can speak, from experience, because I don't live here. When I'm booking flights, I can get flights, if I'm lucky, 25, 30 quid. It's cheaper to get on the flight to come out for a round of golf than it is to get a taxi into, wherever it might, into the town back home. So my word of advice to people is get yourself out here, try it.
Yes.
I think you'll love it.
Yes.
Just meet up with the golf gang and have a round.
Yeah, and there's a ladies' society that meets every Wednesday morning for coffee in the clubhouse. You can just turn up and meet everybody, and they will introduce you to who's what and everywhere and what's here. Now,
I want to ask a bit of a tongue-in-cheek question, a bit of a light-hearted question here, and that is Simon this morning.
Yeah.
When I was asking him, because I do this other podcast called Where Common Sense Fails, and I said to him, surely in all the time that he's been here, he must know of some common sense failures. And he did confess and say that apparently there are some male members of the club who, if they don't drive past the ladies' tea, they have to wear don a dress, or not a dress, a skirt, and play the round in a skirt. He wouldn't tell me who, right? But he claims that there has been someone, at least,
there has been someone, yes.
And so I thought, well, let's spare their embarrassment. How far ahead are the ladies' tees? And
not that far.
Well, yeah. So there was me thinking maybe 100 yards, and he went, no, maybe 15, 20 yards in some of them, which must have been quite embarrassing then for the poor player. Have you? So I was going to ask you, have you got any funny stories that you know of? Bit light-hearted. You don't have to name them.
Well, funny enough, at Christmas time,
right,
the Ladies Carver Group runs a Christmas carver function.
Yeah.
Men are not allowed to play because it's a ladies group, but men are allowed to assist in fancy dress.
Okay.
So because it's a Christmas theme, they have to be elves or Father Christmas.
Right.
And help do all the lovely foods and nibbles around the golf course as we go round and play. Could you call it playing?
Right.
Although it's even the 9 holes. So we all dress up as a group. So there's usually about 60 people play on that particular day because it's such good fun. We all meet very early, gather around, do all the photograph sessions because we're all dressed up. The boogies get dressed up, everything. And each year it's getting better and better. And then we have glühwein and mince pies made by some of the members who may not even be playing but want to volunteer and help out with these type of things.
Yeah.
We then go off, and then by the 3rd hole, we're having our first refreshment.
Right. Hard work.
Definitely. Another mince pie, maybe. And then we'll go around another couple of holes, and then we'll have another one. And then we're back to finish at the 9 holes. And then we have a party on the end off the golf course. But at the end, there's this area where we also, halfway house, we call it.
Yeah.
We have this halfway house that we sort of have a little snifter at, and a lot of fun. And then we'll go up to the clubhouse and have an after party and a disco and a DJ there or a singer there. And it goes on way into the night for people who can hang on that long because it's quite a long day.
And I know you live near the golf course, right? And so that's not too bad in terms of stumbling home,
no,
right?
It's not. You have to watch how often you stumble home because there are so many societies and so many groups and friends. It's a fantastic place to be, but boy, can you be worn out even when you're retired.
But right, okay. So here's another. I'm trying to get you to confess something here. Oh. Has anyone been barred?
Ooh. I've known of people being barred from a few of the establishments. Yes.
Well, because with all that drinking that you just said on the golf course, every couple of holes you're having a little snifter. By the time you get out, you could be worse for wear, right?
Very much so, and that's when the hilarity comes in with the fancy dress costumes.
Yeah.
Taking the mickey out of each other. All good fun. But yes, there are a few people who have to call the other half and come and get picked up and be taken home at certain times of the day. But all good fun, and not everybody drinks. And
come on, you've not been issued a red card then?
Been close a few times.
Right. Well, we'll leave it at that. Right.
Okay.
But next time I'll get more out of you. Sue, thanks for your time. And like I say, people can get in touch with you via the Facebook page.
It's the easiest, quickest way at the moment, yeah.
And you're more than happy to show people around if they want.
Put them in touch with people. There has been created in the past, I need to track it down for people, a useful what to do, where to go, who to contact list when you do arrive by some of the estate agents. And I think a lady who moved in last year was looking for this and it resurfaced again. And I think that's being updated. So I'll try and track that down, the lady who is keeping that updated.
But in terms of the Golf Society thing, if someone wants to just get introduced to the Golf Society and the people, you're more than happy to help them out.
Yes, just drop us a line on the HDA Facebook, so you say it's the easiest way.
Yeah.
We will then come back to you with all the information that you need, what you need to do, how to do it, all the information that we have to have in advance, and payment-wise, where to pay for your minimal £12 a year to be part of the club that we are, and go from there.
And maybe next time listeners will get a bit more about the golf club in terms of things like golf hire, and all that kind of stuff. Because I know the club offers some. The
club can offer a few sets.
Yeah.
There's large groups visiting. There are 2 or 3 hire companies that will bring the clubs to you here at HDA.
Yeah.
So if there's a 20 group of men coming, then they can do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, when Sue comes on next time, we'll get to know whether or not she's had a hole in one, worst shot, best shot, all that kind of stuff, and get it from there. Because I'm not bragging, but I've had a hole in one in the past.
Oh, you really?
I have.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was only on a short kind of 145 yards.
Well, you don't tell people that. Yeah.
And the good thing about it was the clubhouse was empty.
Oh, that was very lucky.
It was a very cheap hole in one. So
yeah, in America they take insurance out for that.
They do. I can't believe it, right? So yes, I do have that same. I got the golf ball signed by my partner. It sits proudly on my mantel shelf, and that's it. But those heady days of hole in ones and everything else are well gone. But no, thanks, Sue.
Pleasure.
All right.
Anytime. Yes, thank you very much, Chris.
Thanks.
Cheers.
If it's a nice cool beer, or a coffee and a piece of cake, or if you're feeling a bit peckish, get yourself over to Lockie's Bar and Bistro on HDA, the new name for Leo's. We are located in the Spanish Village.
Brought to you by Funky Bear Productions. Follow us on our socials at Funky Bear Productions.